Well, you know, it only seems fitting that the man who was the first to report on Disney and Comcast sniffing around, looking at 21st Century Fox assets, is here to report on at least one of those players exiting that. Charlie Gasparino.
Well, if you remember how I really hurt your portfolio,
yes, you
right?
did.
It was on July 2nd. I remember the exact day for some reason. Don't ask me why.
Sure.
But the day that you lost a lot of money when because you hold stock in 21st Century Fox.
Many do.
Yes, okay, including our boss, the guy at the top, right? And I guess I cost everybody a little money that day, where I reported that bankers are telling the Fox Business Network that Comcast is unlikely to bid for the whole enchilada, all the assets.
Seconds, billions of dollars of market value.
2%.
Yes.
And they were basically going to focus on a small piece of Fox, not the whole thing, despite what the market was saying, that they were going to bid up and challenge Disney. Today, it's come to fruition that Brian Roberts has conceded yes.
Why did all this happen? It was supposed to be going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, and by the way, Rich Greenfield, who's a good guy, good source of mine, who works at BTIG, really believed there was going to be a $47 bid on the table, all cash, for us, upping the Disney bid. I told Rich no, it wouldn't be, and here's why I never believed it. If you know some people at the Justice Department, which I know in the Antitrust Division, they based their entire attack on AT&T Time Warner. Based on their hatred of the Comcast business model. Right. They think that these big sort of tech companies, telecom companies, are too powerful when they merge up with content providers, particularly content providers that hate Donald Trump. They basically took the stance that AT&T was a mini-me of Comcast, which they would never have approved. Right. So here we go with Comcast looking to get bigger, and I'm telling you, in order to get bigger and really make this work, they would have had to bid maybe $50 a share, right? Just for the risk, to deal with the regulatory risk. They clearly don't have that type of money. They're highly leveraged, like most telecom carriers are, issue a lot of debt. They just did not have the money to do it in the end because DOJ would have put up a stink. They would have had a way overbid to entice 21st Century Fox into like looking at the deal, and it just, the numbers didn't work. So that's why they pulled out. And that's what I told Rich. My point to all these analysts, a lot of Wall Street guys, you know, they think it's just numbers, dollars and cents, and I'll outbid you, you outbid me. You gotta talk about the government here. The government plays a big role, and as you know, as we were first to report, the government's going back at AT&T and Time Warner. They're looking essentially to kill that deal. So I mean, they're appealing the Judge Leon's ruling that approved it. So justice is very fickle with these deals. Now,
also, this reared its head in the Sinclair Tribune.
In the Sinclair, different justice. They had the Justice Department on their side, the antitrust. What they didn't have was the FCC on their side. And the FCC, and we did a long story on this. Lydia Moynihan, my producer, and I did a very detailed piece on this on FoxBusiness.com, laying out some of the problems. Here's what we know now, and this is what sources are telling us now, that amid this defeat, where Sinclair has been nearly shut down by the FCC, a miracle could save the deal. An administrative court judge could say, yes, I approve it. But without the FCC's consent, it's a big, heavy lift. But here's what we know, that Sinclair Broadcasting has now gone out and is looking for a lobbyist. A little late, but they are looking for a Washington, D.C. lobbyist in the aftermath of this stinging defeat. We understand they're paying at a minimum of $12K a month for this lobbyist. I know people that have been. Wow. I'm getting this. My sources are people that have been approached. So in the middle, now I guess the question is, what does it mean that they're hiring a lobbyist? You really can't lobby an administrative court judge, just so you know. That's where this gets weird. It makes me think that maybe they're going to pull the deal. Right? You could pull the deal. It just makes me think.
Pull it to rework it, or pull it all together?
Pull it to rework it.
Okay.
And maybe start over, or maybe pull it, period, and then just repair its reputation with regulators. Because at crux of the reason why they got turned down by the FCC, which is basically a pro. This is the Trump administration. Donald Trump.
One really surprised.
Donald Trump likes Sinclair. He's actually said it. Ajit Pai, the head of the FCC, has done some things to help move this deal along so they can get the approval. But at the heart of it, when you read the rejection, I guess, notice, It was they believed that Sinclair BS them on their divestitures.
Is that right?
That's what Pai said. Now, Sinclair says no, but I'm telling you, that's what he said, and he's been public about that. So when you have that, it looks like I mean, this lobbyist may not be hired to save the deal. It may be hired to repair their reputation.
Are either or both of those in play then?
Explain.
In Tribune or Sinclair's case?
Here's the thing. Yeah, Sinclair could pull the deal. There's no doubt. Tribune could pull out of the deal. I believe they have until August 8th to pull out of it. You know, the administrative court judge could could rule in their favor. Although, based on the way this works, when the FCC basically voices its rejection, generally the administrative court judge abides by that. I mean, this is a very, very heavy lift for them. So I'm not quite sure why they're hiring the lobbyists. My guess is this is damage control for the future.
You know, let me. Bob Iger at Disney issued a statement after it looked like he secured 21st Century Fox. Our incredible enthusiasm for this acquisition and the value it will create has continued to grow as we've gotten to know 21st Century Fox's stellar array of talent and assets. We're extremely pleased with today's news, and our focus now is on completing the regulatory process, ultimately moving toward integrating our businesses. Any bumps that you can imagine?
The one thing that did not mention was Sky. And here's what a lot of people thought, particularly after my reporting a couple of weeks ago. Remember, I broke it first. It cost you the money, right? Sure. That maybe there's a deal at hand between Disney and Comcast, that they said, okay, you can have Sky. Disney said, you can have Sky, just leave us alone here. That there's a little back room.
So you think Comcast is still making moves?
Well, now Comcast made the move on Sky, right? It's Disney's turn. Mike, the question is, does Disney now get into a bidding war with Comcast over Sky, or did they do a secret handshake agreement saying, okay, you got that, we got this, let's move on?
But didn't Disney want Sky for the international?
That's what they said, but who knows? Like how they, who knows? Maybe, the fact. I think that is a legitimate question to ask. Did they cut some deal? Is Disney now walking away from Sky?